So we will study about graphical systems, advantages and disadvantages. What are the advantages while using the graphical system? So we'll try to list out what are the advantages there. So when we are trying to use the graphical system, the symbols recognized faster than the text. So obviously when you see with respect to your mobile or with respect to your iPad or anything, instead of like in the first attraction itself or in the first sight itself, if you see the icon something like camera or calendar, you will come to know what is the functionality of that particular icon and compared to what reading over the text. That is called as symbol recognized faster than the text. Second advantage is faster learning. As I told, if this text means we have to keep on reading each and every thing in detail. We have to understand what all the icons is present. By seeing what the symbols, easily will come to know what is the functionality of each and every menus that is there in your device. Next advantage is faster use and problem solving, and it is easier for remembering also. As I told, icons are what the pictures are very easily rememberable, and it is more natural. Today's graphic representation of objects are thought to be more natural and closer to innate the human capabilities. Next is exploits visual or spatial cues. Whereas visual thinking is believed to be better than the logical thinking. So the images, the icons tells more when compared to what the text. It attracts more the people. Next advantage is it provides content. That means it displays the displayed objects are visible. It's providing some picture which is telling about some features. And next advantage is it has only fewer errors, and it is having increased feeling of control. It means user initiate the action and feels in control. He knows. That means like clicking on when to click the particular icon. Because if there are only text are there on your screen, he needs to see. He needs to read that one, what text you have given. Then he needs to analyze that one, and then he need to decide whether to select a particular menu or not. In the place of that, if there are the images, that is icon, in the form of what? The pictures. By seeing at first instant only, it will come to know what exactly that particular image represent, which task he needs to perform. And then immediate feedback. Learning is very easy here, and system response is also very fast, and it is easy reversible action. So that means if I click on any icon, if I click on the camera, immediately I get the response of that. That means the camera will be open, it is ready to take the picture. And less anxiety concerning the usage. That means the user should know what all the icons, what are the functionalities been used, it will be used there. And when there are many pictures available on your system, it's more attractive, and it consumes less space, and it is replacing all the national languages. It's only about icons, so everybody can understand. It is not about any particular language there, and it is easily augmented with the text displays. So here everything, as I told, it is in terms of images and icon, and for each of this icon you can give description also. And when you go with respect to graphical system, here everything is images and menus, so low typing requirement is enough here. Here is everything is in terms of what? Cursor, that is pointing and selecting controls. Here we are trying to use more of mouse and then trackballs. And next, some of the disadvantages are greater design complexity, since there are many number of icons. So you should know for which design for what purpose we will be using. And learning still necessary. The user may not know the meaning of many words and icons, so he should know. He should understand that one. And lack of experimental. So that means we have to for each and every devices, we may use different kinds of icons, so they should understand. It means you should set proper guidelines while designing of what the interfaces. Like we have, since we have various kinds of devices for like we have system, we have laptop, we have iPad, we have mobile, we should know so which kind of images, how many images you can fit exactly with respect to length and breadth of that particular system, so whether it fits or not. So we should do with trial and error and try to find out, because we cannot take same design with respect to all the devices there. Inconsistency in techniques and terminology. The both the learner as well as designer should know what are the terminology. So when the product has been released, the first thing is the designer needs to make the user familiar with respect to terminology as well as the techniques. How to use the device, for what purpose, which icon has been used. Then only what they will be familiar. Otherwise, they may find that particular usage of the particular device is difficult and not always familiar. As I told, here everything is symbolic representation. Few people are not much familiar with this icons or symbols. They should know for which symbol what is our operation. If they are not familiar, then obviously they may find it difficult. And human compression limitation. So human compression limitation means there are certain limitations that you should see with respect to in terms of humans who will be using that particular graphical interface, in terms of performance, in terms of complexity. If the designing is more complex and if they are crossing about the limitation of human, then it is difficult for the design to be in the market, or it is very difficult for the design to go with respect to implementation. And window manipulation requirements. So window handling and manipulation time are still expensive, and then it is repetitive. Production limitation. The number of symbols that can be clearly produced using today technology is still limited. So as I told, first whenever we are trying to go with respect to the GUI, the designing, we should see what is the length and breadth of that particular screen in which we are trying to fit the menus. Based on that, we can decide how many number of menus we can fit in the rows as well as in the columns. If simply we may think about only icons without thinking about how many are going to fit in the layout, it's so difficult, because you may keep on increasing the icon but it is not able to fit, means it is waste of what your time and thinking in development of that particular icon there. Few tested icon exist. Icons must be researched, designed and tested, and then it should be increased in the market space. Simply we cannot without collecting, without doing any background work, just like that we cannot tell this is an icon. We should know for what purpose, what is advantage of that, how people will recognize that particular icon, what description you have to give. So all this background work we have to do when we go with respect to what using any icons.